Hi everybody, it's me again, Charles Norman from Sports Solutions LLC. We are the creators of AthleticSOS, and if you're trying to get an athletic scholarship for your high school athlete to go to college, we have a software program that is absolutely no cost to you, and down below I give you a code and I give you instructions for how to use it. And what our software will allow you to do is to use your kids' academic information, the sport they play, the level they think they participate in the collegiate world, and we take where you might want to play, and we show you every single school that you qualify for academically that offer athletic scholarships for their sport. You can use it at no cost. Just go down below. So in today's video, I'm going to call this one the early signing blues, and it happens every single year. We've been doing this for a little while now. Sometime in the near future, you're going to start, the early signing is going to come, and those colleges that you thought you had in the bag, that everything was okay, that you had talked to the coaches on and on, you've got all of their posters on the wall, their letters that they sent you, you've got all these letters taped to the wall. That's what we did when my daughter was coming through this point in her career. And all of a sudden, those coaches aren't calling. The letters aren't coming quite the same way. Now, it's not there yet. Early signing, and we played basketball, and that's why I'm kind of doing this right now. I think the early signing was like in November sometime. And so, you know, it was really, really weird how it happened. All of a sudden, then we would call the coach, and we wouldn't get a call back. And then I would email, and I wouldn't get anything back. And then we started panicking because what just happened here? And this is what I've been telling you guys. This is the reason I created AthleticSOS and got it out to you guys, because what actually is happening now is those schools are starting to narrow down to their first 3 choices. And maybe you're number 4, maybe you're number 5, maybe you were number 2 and number 3, and number 1 looks like they're going to sign with them. And so now you're out. I mean, they'll hold on to you until that actual signing time comes, but for the most part, they're throwing all their eggs in that one basket, and maybe 1 and 2 they're doing it in. And then here's the big one that you'll know that you're really on their radar and they're really serious about you. They're going to invite you to whenever their football opening, their home night is for their football team. If they invite you to that, you're really on their radar and you're going to be in great shape. And you can go and take, this is for seniors for the most part, because you're in your senior year now and you're not going to get the opportunities you had before to go out and showcase yourself later on after your season, because those travel club programs, those tournaments, the showcases, those things are going to be more for the freshman, sophomore, and junior people that are getting ready to go into, the juniors that are getting ready to go into their senior year. That's what's going to happen next year, and you're going to be out. There's going to be some senior opportunities, but they're very rare, and most of those coaches have already they're starting to lock into the juniors that they want, or the sophomores that they just want to put on their radar. They don't have time for you. You're sort of the lost person. But I don't want you to lose hope. But if you had followed what we told you guys to do, you would have some backup schools now that maybe weren't coming after you because they didn't know about you, but you had told them that you were interested in them, and now you can start reaching out to those schools. But the reason I'm doing this video is because I want to talk about 2 organizations that use our software. We are not a recruiting service. I just created a cool software that will help you realize all your options and opportunities. But I can't help you. I can't make a phone call on your behalf and say, Susie's a great tennis player, or Johnny's really good in gymnastics. I can't do that because I don't know that world. I'm the nerd guy, right? I can develop some software. So one of the organizations is a football, Pop Warner type football, but they have young kids, they work out high schools, they have 7-on-7 programs, and they are prolific at getting their kids to college. And they've got some of the best kids around, but they have some kids that are more D2, NAIA, D3 kids. And so here's what they do, which is really cool. They go the year before, there's they take their kids to all of the expos, the college expos. They take their kids there because at these expos, what they'll do is the colleges come out, set up booths because they're trying to get these seniors from high school to go to their college. And what they do is they take their kids there and get them pre-accepted. So the kid is already accepted into the college. They fill out the paperwork on site, and those schools can make a decision right there. This is amazing to me because everybody's at home writing these letters and all this. Well, they do all that stuff ahead of time. He helps them write the letter out just to get them into the college, right? So he goes, any college that's there, those kids will go and sign up for it. And then he goes back and then he will start reaching out to the coach for that sport, for that college afterwards. So the kid's already approved to get in. And now imagine, and they use our software to find the schools that they look up those schools and learn more about the college after the fact. And so they will now reach out to that college coach and say, hey, we've got a kid here. Is already accepted into your school, so they're going to go there. I can vouch this kid can play at that level, and they are really, really interested in your program because they like the way you do this or do that, and they learn more and more about the sport. Absolutely genius. The only caveat I have for that is they're kind of limiting themselves to the schools that came out to those expos. But you know what? It's a great way, and the person I was talking to said they get such a good conversion rate that's the way they do things. So I thought that was really cool. So if you miss out on your early signing, look around and see, because they'll start to happen next year. And for your seniors, you'll start to see some what they call college expos. So look for those. So that's a cool way to do it. And then another group that uses our software, which is kind of surprising. Now, they are a STEM program. Now, they're not the high school like one of the magnet or those kind of schools. What they are is a after-school program, and they have kids that are trying to go into science and technology and engineering and math. So they use our software, and the interesting thing about them is what they do is any of those kids that play sport, because these kids got 4 point, they're the ones with the 4.2, 4.3, 4.5 GPAs, because what they want to go into, but some of them play sports, and they said they always get the kid to play sports into a great program because they're the extra layer. And this is what I've been telling you guys over and over again. Let your kid play sports. I know you don't want them to be the athlete forever. Now, they don't follow my thing. They don't tell their kids, hey, just go play for a year or two so you can get in. But what they do is, because these kids are such great academically, they're so good academically, what they do is they get their kids in, and they usually go for NAIA schools, I will say that, or they'll go for Division III schools, because they can get their kids as much money as they need now to go to school. And what they do is they get the college to accept the fact that this kid plays sports, but the college wants the kid anyway, and the kid wants to keep playing. They will make accommodations for them, because I had a video earlier where I told you most kids that go D1 and sometimes even D2, they don't get a chance to take the major they want, especially any major that has labs or is very academically challenging, because the coach wants your focus on the sport. They're paying you to come to this school, and so you're coming to play sports. So those are two ways of getting things done that I had not heard of. So one, they go to the college expos and get them accepted into the college, and the other is that this is academically high achieving kids, and they go to colleges that have this sport, and this kid can play at least at that level, and then they push that, and those colleges are very accepting and will allow them to take the path that they want to take on the college. In fact, they take pride in that fact. And so those are two of those. But one of the really big things I want to do in this video, and I know it's my opinion, but I'm not judging anybody, but I'm just going to tell you, at this time of the year, I see these three levels of people, whereas the parents most of the time. And so the first one is the what now group, right? And to me, and again, I'm not being judgmental, because I know some of these people are some of the best people in the world, and their lives are great. They're very happy. But the what now people, to me, just sort of let life happen to them. It's that almost like a question, what now? That sort of defeatist type of thing. And then the other piece of those what now people are the people that are looking at the person to do something for them, to fix it, right? Okay, what now? You said you were going, you were calling us all this time. It doesn't work in the athletic world, because that college owes you nothing. Yes, they were talking to you for a year and a half. Yes, you guys are going back and forth, and you're getting letters, and your kid would call once a week during that time period that you could make the phone call to the coach, and the coach would call you back, and you guys were having this great banner, and you thought everything was set up. And I know one particular parent that really got on, told that coach that they're really disappointed, and they were going to talk to the head of the college and do all this stuff. And so what happens if that coach goes, okay, you know what, we'll take them? You think your kid's going to have a great time at that school, that they're going to be successful in that program? They're not. So this is the first time those type of people, you can't fix the problem by bullying or doing the sympathy play or any of that stuff, because that college is going to take the person they need. They never ever, if you listen really closely, they never ever guarantee you anything. If they haven't made the actual offer, then you're just on their list. That doesn't mean you're going to get in. And so you guys need to really take that serious. And I just know a lot of people in the world that I'm in, I see people that are the what now people, and they float through life and everything kind of works out for them, but it always feels like they never excel in any given thing. And I'm not saying they're not happy or things don't work out for them or they're bad people. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it just feels sort of a floaty type of world. The next group is the now what group. And this is the one, you know, I kind of felt like I fell into this a lot with my daughter for the most part. I'd be doing something, I'd be watching a game or I'm reading the paper or something's going on, and she'd come in that room with the sad eyes, and I'd go, now what? And so now what was, I need to fix it for them, or I need to come up, or something's happened and they believe that I'm going to figure something out. And that's what I'm good at. I'm a good problem solver, right? And so the now what people will at least say, okay, now what do we do? Like, I could go to the other person and go, I've done my research, I've looked up everything. So now what means, now we're going to move to this school, or we already have that school. I use the AthleticSOS. That would be the best way to say it. So I've got some other things lined up. I already thought about this, could be a possibility. I hadn't gone too far out on pre-planning, but I got a couple of backups and I got a couple of ideas, and now I'm going to start working on this thing. And so those kind of people do pretty good. They're pretty good supervisors at work and stuff, because if you're doing any kind of work, especially me, I was in the technology world, things come up all the time and they happen right away, and you got to make a decision right away. And no matter what decision you make, it's going to make somebody unhappy, right? You got to recycle the servers, or you have to rewrite the program, or it didn't do quite what somebody didn't tell you one of the pieces that they did when you made a workflow for them, or whatever is going on. Something goes wrong, and you can sit there and quickly figure out, okay, now what? Okay, here's what we're going to do. Right, and so you can figure it out on the fly, and that's a cool way to live in a way where you put yourself in position to be okay. Right, you don't let yourself get caught too far off guard, and you have the resources at your fingertips that you can make a phone call, or you have the ability to go, okay, this happened this way, let's go do this real quick, and then we can move on, and let me figure out what our next move is. So those are the now what people, and it works really well in the sports world, because you don't put yourself in a position where one person can throw you off, or even one or two situations can throw you off, and you miss out. Because the problem with athletics and athletic scholarships is, once that window, that early signing or the late signing, and you miss them, you're in pretty bad shape there, because the schools have moved on and it's hard to go back and recover. Now, there's some options there, and we'll talk about that in another video. And then the last ones are the then what. And so these are the ones where you say, you could be talking with somebody, right? Somebody else is the supervisor, or somebody else, or you're going to do something, and then you say, and as you're talking to them, and let's put this in the context of trying to get an athletic scholarship, you've been talking to some schools, and then you say, okay, so we're interested in you, what do we do now? Well, you know, then what? And then what? And you listen to them on the phone, or you're in person, you go, okay, and then what? And then what? Because you're trying to get the exact path laid out so that you know step by step by step what you need to do to put yourself in the best position to get where you need to get to. And these people are the people that are planned so far ahead that the other way they do that, if they're in charge, they will be the ones that go, then we do this, and then you're going to do this, and then this is the next thing. And they've already thought, you know, I had that video I did last week on being 10 years ahead. You know, you're thinking 10 years. Those are those people. Now, I will say this, those people that are the then what people aren't, it feels like they're not having fun in life, because some things you just want to happen organically, right? You don't plan out every single thing you have happen. And so all I can say to that is try to find a partner in life that is kind of the opposite way, so you can kind of balance each other out. But those people never get stuck, because they're so far ahead of everyone else that they've got everything locked down, probably even before the early signing. They know exactly what school they're going to end up going to. They know exactly everything about that coach, everything about the program. They've got the housing set up. They know how many flights they're going to have to go back and forth if it's out of their area. They've got everything locked down. By the time the early signing comes, it's just a formality. You guys are out having, you know, you're going to have dinner somewhere waiting for the phone call. So you're in great shape there. And so anyway, so I just wanted to throw those out. So just think in your life that maybe a good balance would be the now what and the then what people. I'm hoping for the young people that are using the software that they become one of those two type of personality, but it's not everyone's personality. And again, I'm not judging on the what now people, but I just don't see those people later on. And I know a lot of them that they just sort of let life happen to them. They usually can get around and navigate okay, and they seem to be happy people. And I don't have anything against that, but I very seldom see them do anything extraordinary, because it's always somebody else's fault, or there's always another program you got to go find out about. And what it does is it puts somebody else in has to make a decision for you to move forward. They have to do something on your behalf, or that program could get cut, or something happens, and now you got to start over again and figure out, and you're hustling all the time. And to me, it feels stressful. I can't do it, so I don't have that mentality. But I'm hoping that our next generation, I don't think they can afford to be those kids. I think all of these programs are going to start getting cut right now. I think people are going to, people that are in like government housing type situations, or people that have businesses that ran on money that was sort of low, easy money, right? It was cheap money. And so you could kind of keep your business floating. You weren't making a profit. You were just sort of what they call zombie companies, right? Those kind of people are going to go out of business, because they always knew which paperwork to fill out to get something to keep them moving along and just keep things kind of happening, instead of fixing the problems and being sort of self-sufficient. And so I think this next generation is going to have to think in a different way than my previous generation and the generations that up to now had come up. But these kids that are in high school right now, they're not going to have that luxury of being a what now type person. Okay. So anyway, I don't want to overdo this thing. I just wanted to kind of get this video out. Remember, down below, I give you a code. I give you instructions for how to use the code. Take the software and find out all of your options and opportunities, and then start working on it, so that you, next year when it's your turn, or if it is your turn this year, that you're ahead of the game. And so you know which schools you qualify to go to academically. They play the sport at the level you want to play. They're the type of school you want to go to. They have your major. They have the atmosphere you want to be in. Get those schools lined up and start contacting them, or let your coaches help you, whether it's your travel club coach, your high school coach, whoever. Let them reach out on your behalf and get you started, so that by the time it's ready to sign, you're good to go. All right, guys, as always, best of luck to you in all your endeavors. And if you want to stay in the game, we're here to help you. Talk to you later. Bye.